What's going on, everybody? John Arapola here with My MMA News, and today's guest is coming off a big win at UFC Vegas 42. I'm talking to Andrea Lee, who got a second-round TKO win over Cynthia Calvillo to catapult herself now into the flyweight rankings here up to number 7. So, Andrea, how you doing? Congratulations, big performance, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm doing well. We just got home, day before yesterday, and I'm feeling really good. About to actually hit the gym here in a little while and just get back at it.
Yeah, getting right back into things here, and let's talk a little bit about kind of how this all transpired, right? So, you were supposed to fight Jessica I, who was ranked, I believe, number 8. You actually, in a way, I guess you say you got lucky to a degree, right? Jessica gets hurt, she can't fight. Cynthia comes in on short notice, who's ranked 3 spots higher at number 5. We were doing interviews a few months ago where you were talking about like not stressing about the rankings, but you admitted the last time, right? You are kind of starting to creep a little bit when you have somebody like number 5 there. So just how good does it feel after what you went through of losing so many close fights by split decision to get a win, a quality win, a TKO win over the number 5 opponent in the world, to get up now into the top tier of this division, now really right in the mix of things here at 125 pounds?
Yeah, it feels great. Like you said, I wasn't really worried about the rankings, and even after I won that fight, like the rankings wasn't really something that was necessarily on my mind. But I'm so happy to finally be back in the mix of everything. Getting to fight against Cynthia was an even better option for me, like you said, and I'm just glad that she took it. I mean, it was on short notice. It was 3 weeks, and for me to get an opportunity to fight someone who's higher ranked was an offer that I couldn't refuse. So I'm glad that it was something that got presented to me. And I'm hoping that Cynthia's okay. I saw her post recently. She said that she suffered a broken orbital bone in the first round. So, hoping that she gets better from that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that later on, but I'll ask you about it now since you brought it up. I know you guys, you said were pretty close. Well, to a degree, you guys hung out. I believe you said International Fight Week. You guys had a great experience. You guys have trained together a little bit in the past. So I know there was a lot of mutual respect there, and I know you just said that how you're hoping she's okay. What kind of did you guys say afterwards, after the fight? Because I know there was that moment you guys kind of went over and hugged each other, and she said some things to you. What was their reaction like after the fight there?
Well, yeah, after the fight, she was in tears. I mean, there was she was saying a couple of different things. A lot of it was muffled, but one of the things that she said was just that, you're a better fighter than me tonight, and she's just, really upset. And I just, I felt like the tone in her voice was just, I don't know, it was very, I don't know. I mean, like, that's just my opinion. I was going to say, like, she felt like it seemed like a lot of doubt. You know what I mean? I can just feel that coming off of her voice. And to have your 3rd loss in a row, I know how that feels. And you do start to doubt yourself. And, like, it just comes on immediately. It's like, God, like, what am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? You start thinking those things. So I can kind of feel that in her voice. And, I just, she's an incredible fighter. And, this loss is not going to like set her back too much. I think she'll be able to, pull back from it like I did.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot going for her there, too. It's not the end of the world yet there. I'm sure there's a lot of big opportunities coming for Cynthia, and there's a lot of big ones coming up for yourself here. But before talking about the future here, I do want to talk about this fight a little bit more, kind of get into the X's and O's of things here. So this fight, you came out with an extremely fast pace. Was that kind of the game plan going in, or is that just kind of how things just happened to happen?
Yeah, it was my game plan. I wanted to start fast and stay strong. I know that sometimes I fade because I do start quickly, and I exert a lot of energy a lot in my fights because I don't know. It's just how I don't really like the whole filling out process. Like, I like to get in there and just get started. And pumping the jab and attacking the body, those are all parts of the plan. And actually, I wasn't expecting Cynthia to come towards me so much. She actually made it a lot easier for me to work my game plan. Because typically she's more lateral movement. She moves around a lot, and she circles out, and she feints and sets up a lot of her takedowns off of her strikes. And that was not something that she was doing so well because she was trying to be so aggressive and come forward.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you a little bit about that, too, because it seemed like every time she was kind of, it seemed like this anyway, that she was ducking down, kind of coming in for the takedown, you were right there with an uppercut, and it just, time after time after time, that uppercut was there all fight long. Was that because of the way you said that she was moving? And was that the game plan when she was going to be shooting in to try to throw an uppercut like that? Or was this one of those things where you threw it once, it landed, and you just kept going to it until she made an adjustment on it?
No, the uppercut was part of the game plan because, typically someone who likes to shoot on you, they'll think about it twice if you continue to land like even just a knee or an uppercut, and working straight shots was something that like I thought would be better for me. I throw a lot of hooks, and a lot of my hooks don't land. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to eliminate the hook, and I'm just going to start throwing more uppercuts. So I was like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, uppercut, and I just continued to keep that in her face, and it worked.
So she was obviously pretty battered there at the end of the second round. What was your mindset like as you were getting ready for that last round? Like, did you think the fight was over and that you had it in the bag? I know Tony in the corner was getting you really hyped up there saying, let's get her out of here. Did you think that the end was near there?
I felt like I felt like I could get her out of there. And I thought, I had 5 minutes to do what I needed to get done. I knew she was already hurt and that she was getting tired, and I had attacked her a lot to the body. And that seemed I saw in the second round, I was like, man, I can't believe I let her escape that round, because I damaged her so badly with those teeps to the body. And I just didn't want to get overzealous and like run in and try to finish her and then get taken down and then end up on my back. And that's just a scenario I didn't want to play out. So, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get her out of there in the second round, but I knew I could get her out in the third. I just didn't know it was going to be that way,
Yeah, so were you surprised then, like, when she didn't come out for the last round? I know you said that she was hurt. You thought that you were doing a great job there. You thought you were going to be able to get her out of there. Were you surprised? Because the video was actually priceless, too, when the UFC had it on their broadcast there when the referee came over and was like, hey, it's over. She's not coming out. And the way you celebrate. Were you shocked in that moment that she wasn't coming out?
I was, because I had my back turned to the referee, so and Cynthia and her team, so I didn't really know what was going on behind me. So since my back was turned and I'm facing the outside of the cage, looking out, when I turned around, I saw the ref doing this, and I'm like, typically I know what that means, but at the same time, I was like, that can't be what I think it is. So I was like, yes, so excited, when he was like, yeah, the fight's over, it's over. So of course, you don't want to have to go in there and continue doing more work and fighting longer than you have to. Like, get the fight over with. That's what you want to do. That's what I wanted to do.
And after you won two, you looked right into the camera and you called for a performance of the night bonus. You wanted that $50,000. They heard your wish. You got it. How good does it feel to come back home to Louisiana with an extra $50,000?
Oh, man, that's awesome. And you know what's funny? Like, every freaking fight on that card was almost a finish. There was only a few decisions, and I just was like, it's getting harder and harder every time I turn around. Somebody's walking back, with another like TKO or knockout victory. I'm like, dang it, I'm not going to be able to get that bonus, with all these great finishes on this card. And I ended up getting a phone call from a friend. I'm just hanging out in the kitchen in the hotel, and we're talking, and he's congratulating me, and he's like, yeah, well, he's like, that bonus is going to come in handy for Christmas, huh? I'm like, what are you talking about? What bonus? I'm like, are you like putting that into the universe, or is there something that I don't know? And he's like, the UFC posted you're one of the bonus victory, like you're the one to get the bonus. I was like, oh, are you serious? I was so excited. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't know. I'm replaying in my head. It was exciting.
I'm glad that you brought the whole Christmas thing up too, because I was just going to ask you, does that mean, I know you're a big Christmas fan, we were talking before we came on air here, so does all that money kind of go towards the Christmas season, getting everybody gifts? Is Santa going to treat your daughter a little bit better now that you got the extra $50,000?
Oh, she's gonna be treated very well for Christmas, but I'm planning on, spending it wisely and investing and, doing smart stuff with my money, because I'm typically pretty bad when it comes to money. I don't know. It just seems to go so quickly. So I need to learn how to hold on to it and not spend it. So I need to be a little bit more frugal. Yeah, but I'm not.
hey, we're all like that. Don't worry. Whenever you get extra money, it's all right to spend some of it. So don't worry about that at all. And now let's talk a little bit about the future now here coming up. What's kind of you think the game plan here going forward? Because it puts you in a great spot like we said in the beginning. I think I just checked the rankings before I came on air here, so I think you're up to number 7 if I had that right. So obviously that puts you realistically. You could be one fight away from the title. Obviously, Valentina obviously has fought just about everybody up there towards the top. Do you feel that way? Are you one fight away from the title in your mind?
I think it's possible, it just depends on who they match me up with. I mean, like you said, Valentina's already fought like everyone so far, it seems, that's in the top 5, except for maybe 1 or 2, I think. But yeah, I don't think it's too far. I don't think it's unrealistic to think that, could get that opportunity, but I know I need to go in here and win my next fight.
So do you kind of like, I don't say sit out and wait. Do you kind of let the UFC come to you, present you with a contract, go out there, fight somebody, the whole motions that go with it? Or do you try to keep yourself ready and then, hey, the number 1, number 2 ranked fighter, something happens, somebody falls out, you're ready to come in there short notice and puts you in a really great spot then? Like, what's kind of the mindset going forward?
Yeah. I don't really want to take anything on short notice this close. You know what I mean? I want to be prepared. So yes, I'm going to get back to the gym and I'm going to continue training that way that I stay ready. But as far as taking something like on a short notice, I like to prepare myself because, 3 weeks is good. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that type of short notice, that's fine. That's plenty of time to continue to get ready because you should be training anyways, regardless if you have a fight coming up or not. And that's what I plan on doing is just staying ready and staying in shape. But as far as taking something on short notice, I wouldn't want to do that. I'm actually hoping to get something in February, maybe, because they're going to be fighting in Houston. That would be a nice opportunity.
Yeah, go back to Texas there. That would be a nice opportunity. And you're actually going to be going back to Vegas here in a few weeks, right? Because I know your boyfriend's fighting in a few weeks on the Poirier Oliveira card. Do you get to corner him for that, or will you be in his corner, or are you just going out there and kind of going to be in the background in that?
I don't know yet. That's all up to him. I've told him he doesn't need to put me in the corner. He doesn't have to. I'll be there if he wants me to be. But personally, I just want to make sure that he has the exactly what he needs. He needs a striking coach. He needs a grappling coach, and also moral support, which I can be there for moral support. But I just don't want to be any type of nervous energy because I feel like I might get a little nervous, and I don't feel like he needs that in his corner.
I understand there. Yeah, he needs 3 confident people there. Nobody make him nervous. I understand there. So
Yeah.
anyway, I do want to ask you though, with the holidays coming up, I know we've talked previously about like the whole Southern lifestyle and everything. Do you guys do things differently for the holidays? Like what's kind of some of the Southern traditions that you guys do for this holiday season coming up?
Well, actually, for Thanksgiving, we're going to go to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It's a really nice area. They have like river and lakes. You can fly fish, you can canoe, and I rented a cabin, so I'm going to take my daughter up there, and we're going to meet my family, and we're going to have Thanksgiving out there. But instead of doing turkey this year, we're probably going to do a whole bunch of steaks, which we've ordered from a company called The Meatery. They have phenomenal steaks. Like, y'all have to check them out. It's we bought the Australian Wagyu. It's like olive fed. It's like super, I don't know if you like fat, but it's like, I don't know, it's just pretty meat. If you like meat, that is. It's delicious. So yeah, no turkey this year, all steak and casseroles and whatever else.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot different than how we do things up here in the Northeast. We obviously do the turkeys, of course, all the vegetables, and then we usually go to the bar afterwards and get loaded, but that's neither here nor there. Do you guys do things like that?
Well, my turkey's always dry and it's just so hard to eat. So, I'd rather just eat a steak if I can't cook a turkey.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'd much rather steak too, I think. But how about for Christmas? Do you guys do anything special like that too for Christmas, or is that more kind of your traditional wake up in the morning, trees under the presents under the tree, eat a nice ham later on in the day? What's kind of the thing you guys do down there for Christmas?
Christmas, wake up in the morning, and then of course eat later in the day with the family. Yeah, we do ham and all kinds of casseroles and corn pies and a little bit of everything for Christmas. At least we always have in the past. It just really depends on what everybody's feeling like this year.
I got you. Now, Andrew, if it's okay, I do want to end. I have a fan question for you. Somebody's been commenting on my YouTube channel every time that I interview you, and he's had a number of questions. I think I have them all written down here. There's about 3 of them. Some of them are kind of more considerations here. Gordon is his name. He wants to know if you plan on pursuing a black belt in BJJ and judo.
Man, I definitely do. I'm not on that path right now because I'm so focused on just, being one of the best MMA fighters in the world. But as far as getting a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, yes, I do want to get that eventually.
All right. The next one is kind of a consideration here. He was wondering if you would consider retiring the hammer and sickle symbol and adopting a kick grapple box for your KBG logo.
KGB.
KGB. Oh, I have it written down. I'm like Michael Bisping here. Look at me. I even have my notes written down backwards. Haha. There we go. I'm busting you about Bisping before screwing it up there. I'm doing the same exact thing here. Well, I guess would you consider adopting that like he's asking you there?
Actually, that's already been dropped. And I dropped that a while ago, actually. I don't use that. And KGB to me, is kicking girls' butts. It's not really the whole Russian sickle and hammer, but yes, I did kind of like play into that during my Invicta days. But no, I'm not really trying to be all KGB Russian assassin. KGB means kicking girls' butts. So yeah, I could definitely do that. Adopt the, what did he say? Kicking grapple boxing symbol?
Kick grapple box. I was wondering. I was saying when I saw kick grapple box, that kind of threw me off a little bit too. I'm like, I don't think that's what it is. I was 100% sure though. But he's a huge fan here, so I was just taking his word for it, just reading what he had written down there. But it's kicking girls' butts.
Kicking girls' butts.
Okay, I like kicking girls' butts better. That's actually it sounds a lot better than kick grapple box. The other thing that he wanted me to ask you about was about training in high altitude. I think we've talked about this in the past, but I know you didn't do it for this camp, and he was wondering if you would ever consider doing that again, and I guess that's probably going back out to Colorado and training up there on the high altitudes. Is that something that's in the future for you?
Oh, yeah, you can never count that out. I had a great camp, whenever I went out to Colorado and got working with Justin Hawden. The altitude really helped a lot, I felt. Again, in that fight with Antonina Shevchenko, going into the second round, I didn't even feel like I was winded. I didn't even feel like I was going into the second round. And I think that a part of that is probably from just training at high altitude.
Well, did you feel, I know you're saying that with the high altitude, you didn't feel wind coming out for the second round. How about this fight here that you didn't train at high altitude? Was there ever any moments where you felt maybe some wincing moments where you're finding yourself breathing heavy that you didn't train in the high altitude?
There was some moments when I was feeling tired, like I was starting to worry that I wasn't going to be able to continue with that same amount of output that I was putting. And there was moments when I kind of got slow and was just kind of right there to get hit. If you remember the fight, there was a couple of times where she just, I didn't even budge. I didn't even move, I just kind of ate it. And then that second round, I could tell I was tired, but I had, I knew that going into that third round wasn't going to be a problem because standing up really helped me out a lot. I think my legs didn't get so heavy between rounds because I didn't sit down, because typically your legs feel like they turn to cement whenever you sit down and you get all relaxed between rounds. So this time I decided to stand up and just kind of shake my legs off and just keep my adrenaline up, and it seemed to help.
Definitely did. Great performance, great win. Awesome talking to you again. Before you roll out here, though, today, just want to give you the opportunity again, like I always do. Social media, management, sponsors, anybody you would have a shout out to? Floor is yours.
Just my team, my coaches, and everyone who helped me prepare for this fight. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, that was Andrea Lee, one of my favorite guests, too. Always great conversations there with her. So, Andrea, thank you again for doing this. Really appreciate the time here today. And to everybody watching this, if you like today's interview, please go ahead to the bottom, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to find me on Instagram or Twitter, I'm at John Eric Poli. Make sure you guys also go to My MMA News, to our social media accounts. We have great stuff that comes out there. Also, I know you guys are going to our website already, so make sure you guys keep checking out the great work that we put out there as well. We'll see you later, everybody.